Have you ever caught a man's gaze and wondered, does he see the woman I've become? Not the past, not a version I used to be, but it's the moment he saw me. There's a word the ancient Greeks used, kalokagathia. It means the harmony between beauty and virtue, where outward grace is simply the reflection of inner character. That kind of beauty doesn't announce itself. It doesn't chase attention. It simply is. And those who've lived with a deep soul enough to see clearly, they notice. The world often pushes women over 60 into the shadows, as if age erases beauty. But some men, quiet, thoughtful men, see differently. We see the calm, the wisdom, the elegance that only time can shape. To us, you're not just an older woman, you're a good-looking older woman. And that beauty doesn't ask for approval. It exists on its own terms. Hi, I'm Vernon. I didn't make this video to tell you how to win any man's favor. I made it to say what isn't said enough, that men are drawn to women who love themselves and walk through the world with quiet pride. In today's video, I'll share 5 signs that make a man consider you're a good-looking older woman. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the journey of rediscovering life's truths after 60 is filled with quiet treasures. And every single click from you is more than a gesture. It's a gentle encouragement that gives me the strength to keep creating these videos day after day. Let's begin with the first sign, and it's perhaps the most powerful reason men feel drawn to a good-looking older woman: the way she carries herself, not with noise, but with quiet certainty. Sign number 1. You carry yourself with quiet confidence. There's something magnetic about a woman who walks into a room and doesn't need to prove anything. Her confidence isn't loud, it's lived. It's in the way she holds eye contact without flinching, and how her silence speaks more than words. Men notice this. Deep presence, anchored, graceful, is incredibly attractive. This part reminds me about my wife. In her late 60s now, she carries a kind of quiet command that fills a room, not through volume, but through presence. When she speaks, there's no rush, no performance. I've watched men half her age pause mid-sentence just to listen. Her quiet confidence, it's exactly what made me fall deeply in her beauty. I remember the first time I saw her standing by a window, unaware of herself, composed, radiant, complete. I didn't just see beauty, I saw depth. I saw a soul. She still bring that beauty until now. That's the thing, beauty after 60 often isn't about appearance. It's about how presence replaces pretense. As Kierkegaard said, personality is beauty in its highest sense. When you walk into a room with grace shaped by years, your very presence becomes the message, and it's magnetic. If you've cultivated that kind of grounded self, know this. It's one of the most powerful things men notice. Do you recognize that quiet beauty within yourself? If so, I'd love to hear about it. Don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. Your story might just inspire someone else today. Let's move to the second sign. It's quieter, less visible to the world, but when a man truly sees it, he sees more than your beauty. He sees your essence. Sign number 2. You speak with depth, not just words. In a world that often values quick answers and louder voices, there's something profoundly captivating about a woman who speaks with intention. A good-looking older woman doesn't just talk, she offers. Her words aren't for performance. They carry weight because they come from lived experience. When you speak, do people lean in not because you're louder, but because they sense something beneath the surface? That's the power of thoughtful speech. It reveals wisdom without needing to claim it. In ancient Stoic philosophy, the idea of logos, the power of reason expressed through speech, was considered one of the highest forms of wisdom. It wasn't about how much you said, but whether your words revealed a clear, grounded mind. And today, in the noise of fast opinions and shallow declarations, that still rings true. A good-looking older woman doesn't speak to impress. She speaks to reveal. Her words reflect years of observation, loss, love, and quiet resilience. Her pauses are thoughtful. Her tone is intentional. And that depth, it resonates. In fact, a 2020 study published in the journal Psychological Science found that people perceived women as more intelligent and trustworthy when they spoke slowly and with fewer, but more precise words. This aligns deeply with what mature beauty communicates: clarity, not clutter. So when a man listens to you, not just hears, but listens, he's responding to that richness, to the wisdom carried between your lines, to the substance, not the show. You see, men remember words like that, not because they impress, but because they linger. If you've ever had someone tell you, "I never thought of it that way before," that's a sign. A sign that what you carry inside is being felt, quietly, deeply. Let that be a reminder. Beauty isn't just seen. Sometimes it's heard. And when it is, it leaves something behind, not noise, but resonance. That kind of presence lives on in memory long after the conversation ends. And that leads us to the third sign, one that speaks not just to what you say or how you carry yourself, but how you make others feel without even trying. Sign number 3. You create emotional stillness around you. I remember one quiet afternoon, watching my wife in the kitchen as she folded linen napkins before a small dinner with friends. There was no rush in her movements, no performance, just intention, stillness. The light from the window touched her face, and in that moment, the room around her felt different, gentler, quieter. She hadn't spoken a word, yet everything in me softened. It reminded me, true presence doesn't come from speaking, doing, or even smiling. It comes from a woman being so deeply in tune with herself that her energy fills the space without needing to take it. There's a kind of woman whose presence alone quiets the noise. She doesn't perform to be seen. She doesn't chase approval. And yet, eyes find her, not for what she does, but for how she is. Her energy speaks of a life deeply lived, of emotions faced, of stillness chosen. And in a restless world, that kind of presence is not just rare, it's sacred. This stillness isn't emptiness. It's full. The fullness of someone who's seen seasons come and go, and knows she is more than any one of them. That quiet steadiness becomes magnetic, especially to men who are tired of chaos and noise. Carl Jung once said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And when a woman has done that, when she no longer needs to fill silences or apologize for her presence, she radiates a peace that draws people in without effort. Researchers in emotional psychology have found that emotionally regulated individuals create what's known as a co-regulating effect in relationships. Simply put, your grounded energy helps others feel safe, seen, and at ease. That's not just attractive, it's unforgettable. If others have ever told you, "I feel calm when I'm around you," or "you make things feel simpler," then this sign is already alive within you. And I promise you, some men don't just notice that, they long for it. If you feel seen in what I've just shared, don't hesitate to click the like button. One simple act can help this video reach more women out there. Women who may have forgotten the quiet beauty that's been living inside them all along. And together, we can help them return to that place within. Sign number 4. You never chase a man. There's something deeply powerful about a woman who no longer chases, not paying attention, not validation, not even love, because she's already found a home within herself. When you stop chasing, you begin choosing. And that changes everything. You no longer pursue men to fill a void. You invite them into a space that's already whole. That shift, subtle but undeniable, is magnetic to men who are emotionally awake. It tells them, this woman doesn't need me to complete her. She simply welcomes me to meet her where she is. As philosopher Alain de Botton wrote, maturity begins when we are content to be alone if need be, and yet open to love without dependency. That's the heart of this sign. You radiate the quiet power of someone who does not chase, because she has already arrived. I've sat with my old friends, men who've lived long enough to drop the games, the pride, the masks. And when we talk about the kind of women who leave us in awe, the ones we never forget, one truth always comes up. They never chased us, and somehow that made us want to come closer. Interestingly, research in the journal Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin found that individuals perceived as less needy or dependent in romantic contexts were rated as more attractive, particularly when they displayed emotional independence and confidence. That quiet sense of sufficiency, the ability to stand strong and still without pursuing, can signal not only strength, but irresistible emotional maturity. There's a dignity in a woman who doesn't chase a man, not because she's distant, but because she's complete. That kind of presence makes us feel more grounded, more honest, more like the men we hope to be. Around her, we don't feel like we're being tested. We feel trusted, invited, seen. And believe me, men notice this more than you know. There's a different kind of beauty in a woman who knows she's not hunting for love, she's living it. So let me leave you with this gentle reminder: never chase a man, not because you're above love, but because your worth was never meant to be proven by pursuit. That stillness, that self-assurance, that is your greatest power. And for us men, it makes us feel like the kind of men we want to be when we're beside a woman like you. If this speaks to you, hold it close. You don't need to chase what is drawn to your truth. And now, let's move to the final sign, quiet but profound truth that ties everything together and reveals why your presence, even in silence, can leave a lasting mark on a man's heart. Sign number 5. You radiate a natural, joyful light. Some women shine because they try, but a truly good-looking older woman shines because she is. She carries a natural joy, not loud, not forced, but genuine. It's in her laugh, the sparkle in her eyes, the way she still finds wonder in small things. There's no effort to impress, just a quiet, radiant light that makes people feel more alive around her. This kind of beauty is rooted in gratitude, in choosing to greet life with warmth, even after living through hardship. That joy, undeniably real, becomes a kind of light. And men, we're drawn to it more than we often admit. French philosopher Albert Camus once wrote, "In the midst of winter, I found there was within me an invincible summer." That's what we feel when we're near you. An invincible summer. A sense that despite the years, you've not grown bitter, you've grown brighter. This joy is not the kind that seeks attention. It is the quiet contentment that arises when a woman chooses to meet life with softness instead of cynicism. The ancient philosophers spoke of ataraxia, a serene state of the soul, free from disturbance. And perhaps there is nothing more beautiful than a woman who has walked through sorrow, yet still chooses to smile with her whole face. Such joy isn't shallow. It is the reflection of a woman who has made peace with herself and with the world. It is the kind of light that doesn't blind. It warms. And it reminds everyone near her that life, even in its later chapters, still holds delight. So, if you've been told your smile lifts the room, or if people seem to gravitate toward your warmth, know this: that's beauty at its purest. And no matter what the mirror says, That kind of beauty never fades. Conclusion. So, at the end of this quiet reflection, 5 signs, 5 truths. But in truth, they all point to something deeper, something timeless. You see, beauty after 60 is not about being noticed. It's about being felt. It's not about trying, it's about becoming. And you, dear viewer, have become so much more than the world often dares to acknowledge. As I sit here, older now and hopefully wiser, I believe this with all my heart. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs more women who walk in silence and leave echoes. More women like you. So, let me leave you with this. Your presence, your peace, your laughter, your wisdom, they're not remnants of a younger version of you. They are the essence of who you truly are, right now. The Roman philosopher Seneca once said, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." And perhaps the truest beauty is not the kind we carry from our youth, but the kind we earn through living well. Through choosing grace over bitterness, presence over performance, and authenticity over approval. If this video stirred something in you, let it stay, let it root. Let it remind you that you are not behind your prime. You are deep within it. Save it to your own playlist. Because I truly believe this is the kind of reminder you will need, not just once, but again and again. Each time you return to it, may it help you come home to yourself, peacefully, powerfully, and fully. And if you feel compelled, leave me a note below. I read every comment. Because this isn't just a video, it's a conversation, one soul to another. Then don't forget to give this video a like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself. And remember, the most beautiful thing about you has nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with how you've chosen to live. This is Vernon. Thanks for watching till now.